Alsler here, play-by-play for the Abby Canucks. You've got it locked on the Line Change, a Vancouver Canucks podcast.
It had almost grown quiet on the Vancouver Canucks trade front, then trade deadline week officially hit, and the speculation situation went into complete overdrive. We've seen a truly outsized amount of Canuck rumor-related headlines already this week. We just saw Tyler Myers move to Dallas, but the names, they just keep coming. Elias Pettersson, Jake DeBrusk, Brock Besser. The list is absolutely endless. But the name that's really catching fire right now, Conor Garland. And unlike the vague teams interested reports, Garland's situation has really narrowed down to two massive heavyweights, the New York Islanders and the Boston Bruins. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the specific packages being offered by either side. Can the Canucks finally get that first-round pick back, or are they looking for NHL-ready young talent? Let's go ahead and just break it down. Now, the Islanders have been around the fringe of the playoff picture for a while now, but don't let that fool you. Their prospect stable is surprisingly strong. They are reportedly heavily pursuing Garland to add some middle six punch. Although I did see today that they've kind of stalled in the Garland talks since last night. Last night, the heat went up when it came to the Garland speculation with the Islanders, and then the Bruins re-entered the mix. So since then, and at the time of this recording, Garland to the Islanders talks have stalled. So keep that in mind while watching this. Now, that being said, let's take a look at the Islanders, though, to start things off. And let's take a look at the draft capital. We've said before that Garland is one of the Canucks' last chances to land a 2026 or 2027 first-round pick. The Islanders have 4 of them spread over the next 3 drafts. So if Alvin is looking for pure draft equity, the Islanders have the chips to make it happen. Now, if the Canucks are serious about a rebuild, Callum Ritchie is the name. He's a big right-handed center with 44 games of NHL experience. He's basically a young NHLer at this point. So could he be someone that the Canucks could potentially target? I also heard, or saw rather, earlier today that, and the reasons behind the stalling of this Garland to the Islanders thing is that the Islanders aren't willing to give up what the Canucks want in return. So keep that in mind as well. But let's take a look at some A-grade prospects for the New York Islanders. And beyond Ritchie, they have Gashawn Aitchison, a sniper. They have Cole Iserman, and the highly skilled Victor Eklund. These might feel expensive for Garland and maybe out of the Canucks' reach, but in a bidding war, the price goes up. Let's take a look at the salary matching. To take on Garland's contract, the Isles might want to shed future cap. We're looking at names like Pierre Engvall, who is making $3 million until 2030, or Jonathan Drouin. Let's take a look at a Islanders mock trade for Conor Garland. So Conor Garland for Callum Ritchie and a cap dump, or a first-round pick, a cap dump, and a B-grade prospect. Now, just when it looked like the Islanders were the front runners and that we could have potentially seen a Conor Garland trade yesterday with how much those talks just completely heated up, the Bruins rejoined the conversation and the pursuit, and they might have exactly what Vancouver needs, young, high-ceiling centers. Let's take a look at the young NHLer factor. This week's rumors explicitly mention Matthew Poitras and Mason Lohrei. We already did a video on those two in particular. Obviously, Poitras is the one that fits the Canucks' timeline. He's a 21 right-handed center and showed massive flash as a teenager. These two, as I just mentioned, we've already discussed in a recent video. But let's take a look at somebody else. And this has a local connection. Fraser Minten. We have to talk about Vancouver's own Fraser Minten. The Bruins got him from Toronto, and he's thriving. 29 points in 60 games. If the Canucks can bring the hometown kid back to lead the rebuild, it's a massive home run for the Vancouver Canucks. Let's take a look at the cap flip. Now, Casey Mittelstadt is that cap flip. The Bruins only have $5 million in space. They'd likely move Mittelstadt, who has a AAV of $5.75 million. For the Canucks, this is a strategic move. You take him, rehab his value, and flip him with 50% retention for even more assets later on. Obviously, it would not be in time for this NHL trade deadline, as with the new rules, no, the Canucks cannot do that. Canucks have to at least hold on to him for, I believe it's 70 to 75 days when they acquire somebody. You can't flip them right away. Let's take a look at a Boston Bruins mock trade for Conor Garland. It is Conor Garland for Fraser Minton and Casey Mittelstadt, or Matthew Poitras, a pick, and Mittelstadt. Now, this is where the debate really heats up. Do you want the pure potential of the Islanders' picks, or the proven, although slumping, talent of the Bruins' young pivots? As we've talked about, fans are saying ship them all out and take the picks. Others are worried about the bleeding value, like we've seen with previous management. If you're building around the core 3 or 4 players, you need someone like Poitras or Ritchie to fill that 2C or 3C spot for the next 5 years. The clock is ticking towards Friday's deadline. The Islanders have the quantity, but the Bruins might have the perfect fit in Minton or Poitras. Which deal are you taking? Are you going with the Isles, or are you going with the Bruins? If you're a Canucks fan, which one? What are you willing to give up? Or at least from a Canucks fan's perspective, are you going with the Isles or are you going with the Bruins? Now, on the opposite, what are you willing to give up from an Isles or Boston Bruins perspective? Let me know in the comment section down below. I want to know if you'd rather have the first round pick or the young center. Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the Line Change for more daily coverage as we continue to count down towards the trade deadline. And let's take a quick look at the NHL odds, even though literally games have already started. But we'll just do this real quick. And a quick reminder that these are, of course, subject to change. But I'd like to thank my main and primary sponsor, none other than DraftKings Sportsbook, which is, of course, a official sports betting partner of the NHL. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, is built for the fastest game on ice. With player props and live betting, every shift, every shot, every save gives you options to get in on the game with DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN, that's code THPN, to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois, 21 plus in most states. Void in Ontario, restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which will expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. This is a limited time offer. Copyright 2026 NHL, all rights reserved. This video has been a presentation of both DraftKings Sportsbook as well as the Hockey Podcast Network. Be sure to check out the network for your favorite podcast covering your favorite team at thehockeypodcastnetwork.com, the home of hockey podcasts, where it's every team, everywhere. Again, drop your comments down below. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys